Welcome to Blind Abilities. I'm Simon Bonenfant. Many people throughout the world do not have access to modern conveniences such as technology because of cost or electricity constraints. However, one company is on a mission to change that. Introducing Solar Grove Solutions, providing a compact yet customizable all-in-one solution for playing audiophiles and reading books. While attending the 2024 NFB National Convention in Orlando, Florida, I spoke with Alan Decker, Accessibility Specialist at Solar Grove Solutions, about the Vine C product line, as well as the upcoming release of the Vine C2 talking recorder. Listen on to learn about the company's mission, multiple lines of product offerings, and why you may want a solar audio device. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy my conversation with Alan Decker from Solar Grove Solutions. Live from the convention, I'm Simon Bonenfant, and I'm here today with Alan Decker from Solar Grove Solutions. Alan, it's wonderful to speak with you. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Wonderful. And you are the accessibility specialist there, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Very good. So why don't you tell us, for those who are not familiar, what is Solar Grove Solutions and what do you have to offer?
So Solar Grove Solutions is a global company, and we focus on solar-powered technology with an emphasis on accessibility. We are known around the world as affordable, accessible audio devices, mainly in countries that electricity may not be readily available or is very limited, or in countries where technology is not readily available. Like here in the US, we're blessed with a lot of great technology. In other areas around the world, it's a challenge. And so we try to work with various organizations and various companies around the world to bring our technology to people who need it most.
Wonderful. And you mentioned, as is in your title, Solar Grove Solutions. So can you talk about the idea of charging via solar, and how did you get that as part of your mission?
Yes, each of our devices have some type of solar ability so that they can be charged and used anywhere of the world, even in remote locations. It's something that we started many, many years ago, and it's just something that has made us unique. And so we try to incorporate that in every device we make. All of our audio devices have a built-in solar panel that offer the charging. We make other devices as well, such as for deaf organizations, we have a tablet which include solar charging capabilities as well. So it's just something that we've made important to us, and it's what we do.
Very good. Can you give an overview of your products?
Yeah, so one of the main products that we are showing off here is our new accessible recorder called the Vine C2. It's something that we're showing off before it launches. So we expect the Vine C2 recorder to be available in various stores later this year. I'm understanding our target date is in about 60 to 90 days. So we should have that going out to a lot of the stores that we work with. One of the stores we work with closely is Blind Mice Mega Mall. Great people, great products, and they seem to offer our products at the lowest price. So I'll tell you a little bit about the C2. It is about 4 inches by 2 inches. So this is a small device that could fit in your pocket, your shirt pocket, your purse easily. And it has the solar panel on the back. So if for some reason you've lost your cable, you just turn it over and you place it, say, in a window that gets direct sunlight or outside on a porch. And for every hour of sunlight, you get about 2 hours of playtime. So it makes it nice and easy to keep charged anytime you need it. The Vine C2 recorder has a tactile keypad, so blind and visually impaired can use it easily. It also has a new feature that we haven't put on any of our devices before, and it's a talking menu. So one of the great things with that, it's designed to let the user know when the recorder's on, when they've turned it off, what folder they have navigated to, when the recording has started, when it's stopped. So a lot of announcements built into it to guide them through the recording process. Through the years, we've experienced a lot of devices where people are left to guess that they're recording because they require seeing an indicator light letting them know it's recording. So we felt adding a talking menu to something as important as this was important to us as well. So I brought one with us, and I'd love to turn it on, let your audience hear it. So I'm gonna press on for our talking recorder.
Recorder on.
So it let us know that the
Guide
recorder's
and
on,
addition.
and immediately it begins to play whatever folder is first, and we placed our audio guide on it. So that way the user has access to the complete guide in audio at their fingertips anytime they need to reference that guide. What I'll do is I'll turn it up for our audience, and it'll let us know when we've reached max volume.
Maximum volume.
All right, so we reach maximum volume, and we're gonna click the bookshelf button to change to a recording folder.
Divine 3C. Contacts.
So contacts, notes.
New folder 1.
We have a couple of new folders in there, so if a user wants to
Folder one.
create a new folder, they can easily.
Notes.
So
So maybe a
Contacts.
contacts would be
Yeah.
if I wanted to record somebody's information and I would
yeah, let's
store that in.
yeah, like if you had a phone number and
contact.
email address
Yeah.
you needed to take down, this would be a great way to do it. So we went to contacts. We're going to click select,
Playback resume.
and so
Contacts.
we're in the contacts folder,
Playback pause.
and we can hit the record button.
Record mode. Record start.
So it let us know that we've started the recording. So it was just as simple as scrolling to the folder that we want to record our new message, click the record folder, and we've begun. So when you're done, you just simply click the record button again.
Record. End.
So the
Playback pause.
recording has stopped, and it let us know the playback has paused. So if we click the pause button, we can hear what we just recorded.
Playback resume.
So it let us know that we've started the recording. So it was just as simple as scrolling to the folder. So I'll go ahead and pause that. Deleting is simple. So if, let's just say we were recording a grocery list into a grocery list folder, and that's just a temporary thing. You would not want to keep that. You would then hold the record button down. It's going to give us warnings that we're about to delete a file, and then it will tell us that that file is deleted. So I will do that now.
Delete.
So we've just deleted that recording. So selecting a folder, doing a recording, and deleting recordings are very simple.
That's great. And what about file formats on this? Is there a variety of file formats that you can do?
Yeah, so what's really neat about our recorder is it's multifunctional. So for a user that needs a recorder and that's all they need, that's great. But for a user that may also want an MP3 player or a book reader, you can also do that with the C2 recorder. It accepts books in MP3, WAV, Windows Media Audio, and we've partnered with a few groups to make it usable as a book reader as well. So since we work with blind and visually impaired, DAISY formats are very important. So we teamed up with the DAISY Consortium, and with their help, we designed a free software application that runs on your Windows computer that will take your DAISY book, your EPUB, or even a text document and convert it to your player in audio. So for instance, if we were a Bookshare user, if we were a student and we downloaded our books, we could then open our BookSync software, select where we've saved our book, and it will convert the book and load it on our player for us. So now we can unplug our player and take it anywhere, and we have our DAISY books. Same with the text-to-speech. What we wanted to do is a lot of the text-to-speech utilities, many of them are premium-based services. So you have to pay either for the character that the number of characters, or you pay a monthly fee for this.
Recorder off.
So what we did is we worked with Microsoft, and that it uses your built-in license for accessibility already. So any language that you have installed, so obviously we would have English, and with that there are multiple English voices that we can choose from within Microsoft. So BookSync lets us select our document, choose which voice we would like to hear, and then there's a sliding scale that lets us adjust the narration speed. So if you might want it faster, you can slide that scale to listen at your desired speed, or slower, you can take it down as well. There is an audio preview that lets you hear a sample file at that speed. So when you select your voice and your speed, it will take it and it will convert it from text into audio and sync it directly to your player. And again, that's just so you're not having to pay extra fees or subscriptions to do something like that. What our desire is once you've purchased a player, there's no other ongoing costs or fees that you need to operate that device.
Well, it's also a very versatile way and quick way, it sounds like, for someone to take a file that they want to have as a text file, make it into an audio file, and because it would be an MP3 or WAV or whatever file format a person would choose from that software, they could also play it on their computer or other device as well, right? If they wanted to put that in the cloud or something.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, that was a request we had recently, was because our player has a micro SD port, the person wanted to put in a micro SD, load directly to the SD card their text documents into audio, and then pull that out and put it in other devices. Put it in their computer, put it in their Victor reader, put it in whatever they want. And so we added that feature in our last update. So you can choose, if you insert a micro SD, you can choose whether you want to load that internally or on the SD card. And if you choose SD card, it syncs it right there, and you can pop that card out and put it in another device.
Great. And I know that you also have connectivity to USB as well.
Yeah, that's correct. So if the user doesn't want to use the Daisy book conversion or the text-to-speech conversion tools, if you just take the Type-C connector on the player, it comes with the data cable. So you'd take that cable, you'd connect it to your PC, and it would identify it just like you plugged in a flash drive. So you can simply just take create a folder, add your MP3, your WAV, or your Windows Media Audio, and copy that folder right to the internal memory for playback at any time. So I had one individual refer to it as their talking flash drive. So it'll let them put their audio files on it and then carry that with them anywhere. So
very nice. And folks may be familiar with this setup that we're talking about and your other products, because while their recorder is new, you have a book reader product that also has a lot of the same functions that is available for purchase as well. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, that's correct. So that is called our Vine C1. So that was our first generation of our consumer-based model. So the Vine C1 is our book reader, and the Vine C2 coming out will be our multifunctional recorder and book reader. And so we developed the C1 book reader specifically for the Talking Book Library in Australia called Vision Australia. They wanted another option for their library patrons to be able to listen to their audiobooks. That was about 5 years ago, and since then it's become popular in other countries and other libraries as well. So people who are registered with Vision Australia, or maybe they're part of RNIB in Europe or CNIB in Canada, as well as some libraries in Japan and South Africa and various places around the world, have started to adopt that to work with their library services as well. And I will tell your audience, we are trying to work with the NLS here in the US. So, we've made some good contacts. So maybe one day this will also be a feature that works directly with the NLS. But right now, our primary focus is, Bookshare users and people that want to download from some of the free libraries and things like that. LibriVox is a very popular free library service. That's a service people can register as a volunteer to read books and upload them to share with others. And people can download books easily. So It's a great free library to add books without needing to pay subscription fees or anything like that.
Yeah.
So our book reader allows you to access libraries, access other content. Again, using our text-to-speech tool. Project Gutenberg is another popular site people go to download books and text and HTML formats, and our tools will convert those. Once again, selecting your voice and your speed, and it will add it to your player. So our C1 has been around for a while. It's available now at Blind Mice Mega Mall. I know they offer it for around $65, so it's a very affordable device for many.
Oh, that's great. And I know one of the things you were speaking about before is the universal design elements and how this is really a great option for many different audiences, not just the blind and visually impaired community, but as you mentioned, with the solar capabilities for other communities and other countries as well. And you also talked about how you can work with institutions of various sizes to get their products in the hands of their users, whether it be schools or other entities that they work with, their clients. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, sure. I'll talk about some of our other device models. Obviously, we talked about the C1 and C2 because there are consumer-based models, but if somebody's listening and they're with a school or they're with a humanitarian group, maybe a private library that has audio resources, we make other devices such as our S1, which is our S family, and our E family. And the differences of those are those players allow for multi-level navigation, and they are also locked players. So an organization can take content, they can load it on the device, pass it to an individual without the fear of that person being able to erase, modify, or delete that content. So a school can provide that curriculum, load it on the device, hand it to the student, and it's dedicated for that purpose. We have our E family takes that same simple design and it adds a few features to it, such as we've added an SD port to that model too. So while the internal memory may be locked out by that organization, the SD card slot's open, so people can still use that for their own content if they want to listen to music or download other books with it. So we give some options there. Redesigning the E-Series models to allow an unlocked version, because as I mentioned, we work with Daisy Consortium, and one of their big desires is to have a multi-level navigation device that's fully open for consumers in some of these countries that they work with, like in Africa. And so we are modifying those devices for their needs. And then as far as people who may not be visually impaired or blind that still love our devices, is we're very popular with people who love outdoor activities such as camping and cycling, fishing even. Because people use their smartphone for important things like phone calls and maybe navigation, using our device instead of using a smartphone allows them to keep that device and that battery power specific for that. So the last thing you want to do is go on a fishing trip and play some music or an audio book for the next 4 hours and then find out now their phone is at 20% battery life. So well, those devices are very important. So this gives people, this solar powered device they can take anywhere, camping, fishing, charge it easily. And because our devices are water resistant, they're heat resistant, like if I take my phone outside and it's a very hot, humid day, within about 5-10 minutes, my phone's shutting down because it's overheated. Mm-hmm. So this allows them to have that and those types of activities without those problems. And so we're very popular, and people are turning to solar, green technology. We really love to hear that when people are using it for things like that.
Well, I also know that it can be nice to have a device that's separate from your phone or your computer or the device that you would use to get your work done. And you might have distractions, you may have people calling you, you may have messages coming in. If you want a really solid way to get a break, you pull one of these out and you don't have to worry about that. You could leave the phone behind or just take a break and be able to section that off for your relaxation or your entertainment or whatever you would want to use this device for that gets you a little bit of a break from your main productivity devices. So,
Absolutely, distraction free.
Yes.
And that's why some of our smaller blind schools, the teachers love this device because they don't have to worry about the students texting each other with it and playing games or browsing online. So yeah, it's a nice way to unplug and enjoy a book, enjoy some music without all those other distractions.
And the other thing that you had mentioned is about battery life. And I know you had told me earlier that in addition to the solar capability, you can also use the cable to charge the device. I was very impressed with the battery life on that. Tell the listeners how much you can get with the plug.
Yeah, so that's something that's really important to us. So you can charge both with the solar. So with good direct sunlight, most people can fully charge in about 8 to 10 hours. And that battery is going to last you, so it depends on the user's behavior, the volume settings, whether they're using plugged-in earbuds or something like that. But most people get anywhere from 25, and I've seen even upwards of 40 hours of playtime on a single charge. If you need to charge quickly, yeah, you can use the Type-C connector, plug it into a USB port or a wall outlet, and within about an hour and a half, you're going to have a full charge.
Wonderful. So that is a great option for dependable battery life. And I know for me, I would use that for recording purposes. If I wanted to record something for many hours on end, I would just have it right there and I'd be able to do that without having to worry about my battery draining. So
yeah, that's right.
That would be my number one use case, I would think. So very nice. Well, Alan, it's wonderful to be speaking with you. Thank you for taking the time to talk about your devices and the work that you have done and continue to do to advance accessible technology for the blind and visually impaired community.
Well, thank you. And I just want to let them know they can go to sgrove.com to learn about all these devices, especially the C family. That's why we're here. We're promoting it for users, the direct user, the end user. So I encourage people to go to sgrove.com to check out our devices. And on that page, if you go to the C family section and you click on buy 1 to 19, you'll find a list of our resellers that offer them. And we hope to grow that list soon. We just came back from Site City in Germany last month, and we met with a lot of new distributors and resellers all around the world. So hopefully soon that list becomes a really long list to give people a lot of options on where to purchase them.
That is wonderful. And I know that you had said Blind Mice Mart is one of your popular distributors that a lot of people go to. Can people check there in the coming months to find out when the recorder would be ready for purchase?
Yeah, sure. So I've talked to Dale at Blind Mice Mall, and they already carry our C1 book reader right now. And we've had our discussions that as soon as the C2 recorder is available, we're going to be getting them to his store right away. And knowing them, they are going to be one of our best providers and most affordable places to purchase it from. So I do encourage people, we like to support them because they help people get it at an affordable price. So we like to promote them as well.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, they do a lot of great work. Well, thank you again, Alan, for all the dedication and work that you and your team do to produce these products. And it's wonderful to meet you.
Oh, well, thank you. And I appreciate you for inviting me to come on and talk about what we do.
I enjoyed meeting and talking with Alan, and I hope you enjoyed listening as well. Don't forget to visit the show notes to find all the links mentioned in this episode. And if you'd like to contact me directly, send me an email. I can be reached at sbonefant2@gmail.com. That's SBONENFANT, 2@gmail.com. Thanks again for listening and have a wonderful day.
For more podcasts with the blindness perspective, check us out on the web at www.blindabilities.com and subscribe to the Blind Abilities Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. That's 2 words, Blind Abilities. Our email address is info@blindabilities.com. And you can reach us at 612-367-6093. That's 612-367-6093. Give us some feedback, some suggestions. Let us know how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. And from all of us here at Blind Abilities, thank you for listening. And until next time, bye-bye.
When we share
what we see through
each other's eyes, we can then begin to bridge the gap
between the limited expectations and the realities
of blind abilities.
and the realities of blind abilities.